early today.
2 suicide bombers and 3 car bombs detonated minutes apart, followed by mortar attacks. The armed Shiite militia, the Mahdi army, vowed revenge against the Sunnis they believe responsible. Last night, Iraqi politicians representing all ethnic groups called for restraint and unity. But today, the man whose word could do more than any other to prevent reprisal killings didn't deliver. At Friday prayers, Muqtada al-Sadr did not forbid his followers to take revenge. Instead, he made a series of hardline demands. That a fatwa, a religious edict, be issued requiring Sunnis to stop attacking Shiites. A firm timetable for the withdrawal of U.S. forces. He also demanded that Sunnis pay for the rebuilding of bombed Shiite shrines and insisted that Sunni leaders break all ties with al-Qaeda. Tonight, still under curfew, Baghdad is a dark and eerie city. People, terrified, have locked themselves in. But invisible in the night, the telephone lines are buzzing with rumors of more violence to come that is fueling their fear. At this point, Iraqis are looking for signs that high-level political talks might help avert an all-out civil war. Vice President Dick Cheney will be in Saudi Arabia over the weekend for talks with the king. And next week, President George Bush is due to meet the Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki in Jordan. Russ?
Elizabeth, as we continue to hear about these staggering numbers of Iraqi casualties, a lot of Americans are wondering, where are U.S. forces in all this?
They're keeping a very low profile, but they do respond to big acts of violence. For example, the mosque burnings I mentioned earlier. The U.S. forces did respond along with the Iraqi army, and it was due to their intervention that the gunmen ran away. But they are definitely being used as a force of last resort, and they're nowhere visible on Baghdad's streets. Russ?
Elizabeth Palmer in Baghdad. Thank you. Chief Foreign Correspondent Lara Logan recently interviewed the head of U.S. Central Command, John Abizaid, for 60 Minutes, and she joined us now with a preview. Good evening, Lara.
Good evening, Russ. Well, what was very interesting listening to the general is that it's clear he sees this as a decisive period in Iraq. He is as concerned as everybody else about sectarian violence and the danger, if that is not contained, of Iraq spiraling out of control.
This sectarian violence is worrisome. It can be fatal to Iraq if it's not checked. The Iraqis know that better than anybody, and there's no solution to a divided Iraq. There's no good solution to a divided Iraq. It's got to come together. It's got to stabilize, and it's going to require Iraqi sacrifice and courage and responsibility, along with that of the United States and our allies.
What's your greatest fear for Iraq?
My greatest fear is that neighboring countries like Iran and Syria decide that they will destabilize the country more as opposed to help it come together.
So what we took away from the general after speaking to him is that after more than 3 years and close to 3,000 American soldiers killed, it is still possible that there is even worse to come.
Of course, you spent a lot of time in Iraq. As far as the Iraqi people are concerned, in their mind, is this the worst-case scenario coming true?
Quite possibly. I mean, it's hard to imagine that for Iraqi people it can get worse than it has already been, but this attack is an example of what can happen. And many people there are saying what has long been denied here is that this is the start of all-out war.
And you say you believe there is more to come. This is not some temporary uptick we're seeing.
Well, it's not just what I believe. The general said his greatest fear for Iraq is that if this violence isn't contained, it spirals out of control into the region as a whole. And that's the real threat here. What is Iran doing? What's Syria doing? What are Iraq's neighbors doing in all of this?
Lara Logan, thanks a lot. And you can see Lara's complete interview with General Abizaid Sunday night on 60 Minutes right here on CBS. Meanwhile, some just-released footage of Saddam Hussein from just before the U.S. invasion has historians and military experts shaking their heads. This shot was taken from videotape seized by U.S. forces. It shows Saddam firing a crossbow and other primitive weapons. He then tells an aide to start mass production of them. Now, it is not clear if he really expected to use them against the U.S. military or simply to rally Iraqis for an insurgent campaign. Here at home, the holiday shopping season got off to a bang and a kick and a punch as well. Here's one reason why. 137 million people are expected to elbow their way into a mall between now and Sunday. Sharon Alfonsi reports on what we've come to know as Black Friday.
They might want to change the name to Black and Blue Friday. From Boston to Chicago, full contact shopping started before sunrise.
Near Charlotte, the crowds were too much for one woman. She left the store on a stretcher. All of it proof that a good flat panel TV sale can shatter common sense.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Definitely save a lot of money.
This year, analysts say shoppers will each spend about $790 on gifts, compared to about $740 last year. And that would increase holiday sales to about $457 billion. More than $23 billion of it spent this weekend alone. But some retailers may not be ready for the rush.
It's almost like the stores sabotage themselves.
Uncertainty about home heating prices and the war worried some analysts so much, some stores waited to place orders.
They waited too long. They didn't have enough product in the United States to stock the shelves, so now there's a real shortage in the stores from coast to coast.
Even retailers with enough stock are offering deeper discounts earlier than ever.
I think retailers are really concerned that when people are cautious about their money, that you need to get them out early and you need to get them to spend now because you don't know what will happen tomorrow.
But analysts say shoppers might break sales records today just based on traffic, not on the mall parking lot, but on the web. There was so much traffic on the Walmart website today, it stalled. A company spokesman said they had more visitors than they expected. Fortunately, none of them ended up on a stretcher.
I see. That is good. Only the day after Thanksgiving, online shopping, as far as that goes, is this the biggest day of the year?
It isn't. That's still to come. That's actually on Monday when everybody goes back to work and then does all their online shopping on the company computer.
Cyber Monday.
Exactly.
All right, Sharon Alfonsi, thanks. So given all this power shopping, what's left in your wallet? The Federal Reserve reports that Americans owe more than $1 trillion, and that is not counting mortgages. So how do we dig ourselves into a hole that deep? Sandra Hughes has the answer.
At the Lego store in Glendale, California, it's easy to see how Americans are building up debt for themselves.
A lot of money going on those credit cards.
Daisy Garcia was loaded down after loading up her credit card.
I have a secret credit card, which my husband doesn't have.
It's an American tradition, buying on credit, but some economists are warning it has gotten too easy.
Over the past 2 years, Americans' personal savings rate has gone down, down, down. In 2006, it averaged a negative 0.6%.
Which means we're spending more than we make. In fact, in 2005, we spent $41.6 billion more than we brought home. The personal savings rate hasn't dipped so low since the Great Depression. At Kelly Rogers Credit Counseling Agency, December is like a ghost town because no one wants to worry about today.
Consumer debt in December gets out of control because consumers carry that credit card. They want to get a gift for everyone.
Economists are split as to what the lack of personal savings means for the economy as a whole. Despite the negative savings rate, the American economy has been going strong. But there are many baby boomers who have not been saving enough for retirement. 401k contributions on the whole have dropped from 80% in 1999 to 70% in 2005, and the amount being contributed has dropped too.
But it's one of the very biggest problems that this nation faces when we think about what we're going to be like in 20 years.
We did talk to some Christmas shoppers who said they had fought off the urge to charge it.
Yeah, I'm using my debit card. I think that's the best thing everybody could do.
I think we need to have a national holiday in which we give each other savings accounts, not spending accounts, but savings accounts.
Because too many Americans have been living and spending like there's no tomorrow. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Glendale, California.
And from out-of-control spending to outer space, there may be no tomorrow for the Mars Global Surveyor, the spacecraft that's been mapping the red planet for NASA. For 10 years, it sent images of Mars back to Earth, but 3 weeks ago, its signal fell silent. NASA has tried several times to get it to respond, but to no avail, and its mission may have come to an end. There is much more CBS News ahead, including a murder mystery in London. Who poisoned a former Russian spy? A deathbed accusation when we return.
When you're on the go, a dead battery's a big deal. You need Pocket Power, the portable, rechargeable outlet in your pocket. It's the power to travel, exclusively at Sam's Club.
Kevin Taylor just found out he has diabetes.
Now he wants to find out more at mercsource.com.
Cool.
The source for free, unbiased health information.
Is that inside?
Merck, where patients come first.
A lot of people have trouble sleeping, but they don't all have the same trouble. Some can turn off and stay awake for hours. Others turn off right away but wake up again later. Many people have both problems. That's why people are asking their doctors for controlled release formula Ambien CR, the latest Ambien. It's the only one with 2 layers that work differently. One dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep fast. The other dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. Ambien CR is a treatment option you and your doctor can consider along with lifestyle changes and can be taken for as long as your doctor recommends. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active again. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic. However, like most sleep medicines, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. A good night's sleep shouldn't be an on-off thing. Falling asleep and staying asleep can make a big difference. So ask your doctor about controlled release formula Ambien CR. Remember, CR.
Excuse me. So what exactly are you guys?
Sneakers, baby. Vintage 1985 high tops. Limited edition. Old school.
Wow, you guys sound pretty cool.
You know how I roll.
So how's the postal carrier going to handle all you guys?
It's all good. The lady drives a big truck.
Wow.
With lots of room in the truck, the post office comes to you with free package pickup.
The mystery is deepening over the death in London last night of a former KGB spy who was an outspoken critic of Russian President Putin. British officials said he was poisoned by an extremely rare radioactive substance, and they pressed their hunt for the killer. But as Richard Roth reports, the victim died believing he knew who did it.
The finding that Alexander Litvinenko was poisoned by a major dose of radiation sent British authorities searching for more of the substance that killed him. They found traces of the radioactive isotope polonium-210 at the former Russian spy's North London home, at a hotel in fashionable Mayfair he visited early this month, and at the downtown sushi bar where Litvinenko met a contact just hours before he fell ill. They insisted there's no public health risk, but officials called this poisoning case unprecedented.
For somebody to have this level of radiation, they would have had to have either eaten it, inhaled it, or taken it in through a wound.
Polonium-210 has industrial use and minute amounts occur naturally, but its radiation can't penetrate the skin. It's only deadly if it gets inside the body. Whoever killed the former spy, say poison experts, needed special knowledge and skill to deliver the fatal dose. A harsh Kremlin critic, Litvinenko claimed his poisoning had been ordered by Russia's president. The accusation was in a deathbed statement read out by a friend.
You may succeed in silencing one man, but the howl of protest from around the world will reverberate, Mr. Putin, in your ears for the rest of your life.
Putin certainly heard the charge at a summit of European leaders, and he shrugged it off. It's regrettable that such a tragic event as death is being used, he said, for political provocation. But the Russians and the British both know this wasn't just a routine death. And with its Cold War echoes, now it's anything but an ordinary crime. Richard Roth, CBS News, London.
Russia, meanwhile, announced today it has begun delivering sophisticated missile systems to Iran despite U.S. opposition. Iran reportedly bought 29 of the air defense systems for $700 million. The U.S. has called for a ban on arms sales to Iran over its nuclear program. In Gaza today, burial for a grandmother turned suicide bomber. The 64-year-old woman made a traditional suicide video, and yesterday she walked up to Israeli troops and blew herself up. She was the only one who died. One family member says she turned into a killer after Israeli shelling killed 19 Palestinians, including one of her 38 grandchildren. Next, in free speech, a lesson for all of us as we begin the holiday season.
I'm one of those people who doesn't like to be
held back. I have my fast-acting inhalers.
So I thought I was in control of my asthma, but I was using my inhaler
a lot. So I learned about something more I could do.
More I could do.
More I could do.
If you use your fast-acting inhaler more than twice a week for symptoms, talk to your doctor because you may not be in control of your asthma. Singulair helps prevent asthma symptoms before they start and helps provide 24-hour control in a once-a-day tablet. Singulair is not a steroid, and Singulair is also approved to help relieve indoor and outdoor allergy symptoms. Singulair will not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Continue taking your other asthma medicines as prescribed. If asthma symptoms get worse, contact your doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Join the millions of people with asthma who have discovered Singulair.
I learned about something more I could do.
Ask your doctor about Singulair today.
That's me, Brett Farr. And it's my 9th day with Prilosec OTC. Now, frequent heartburn is no big deal. Zero heartburn for 24 hours with 1 pill a day. So what day are you on?
Cutting down on your coffee? Not to worry. Introducing Simply Smooth from Folgers, a coffee for sensitive stomachs with the mountain-grown taste and aroma you love. Folgers Simply Smooth. Go ahead, have a second cup. Learn more at Folgers.com.
Many cars claim to be as well-built and reliable as the Accord. When it comes to resale value, however, no car in its class can compare. The Accord from Honda. Lease a Honda Accord for $249 a month for well-qualified customers.
It's not simply the snow itself that's hazardous, but rather the unexpected ways it chooses to fall. The Lexus ES350 with vehicle stability control. See Lexus of Portland.
'Tis the season to eat jolly. But is overeating the only reason we gain weight? Many scientists don't think so, and what they found may surprise you. Next week, the genetics of weight gain, the science of weight loss. Don't miss our special series, Overweight in America, the science, the solutions, on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric. See it now.
Well, even though it was just yesterday, for many Americans, Thanksgiving is becoming a distant memory as they plunge headlong into the holiday shopping season. But are we forgetting anyone as we race to and from the mall? In tonight's free speech, we hear from Elizabeth Edwards, a breast cancer survivor and the wife of former vice presidential candidate John Edwards. Her message, the gift of decency.
Did you buy groceries today? If so, who was your cashier? Who bagged your soda? They have names you know, and chances are they were even wearing their names on their shirts. But did you notice? Sadly, as a country, Americans have gotten used to treating those in service positions as if they were part of the cash register, part of the conveyor belt. They aren't. They are mothers, fathers, daughters, and sons working hard to provide for their families. And they're working harder and earning less than most Americans who work behind a desk. Everyone in America who works hard deserves our respect. But too often we fail to realize that each of us is connected to the other. Too often we fail to realize that each of us has a name, a life, a dream. It is the first step in civility to acknowledge our fellow citizens, to use their names, to look them in the face, and to thank them for making your life not just easier, but possible. The second step, which is also too rare, is to treat each other with respect and even tenderness. I have had hard times, but my life has been easier not just because of my splendid family or my incredible friends, but because I had support from unexpected places. From Edward, my mailman, from Drew, who works at my children's school, from Sam, who bags groceries at my supermarket. My life has been easier because the people I have treated tenderly have returned the gift. Decency, it turns out, costs nothing.
Elizabeth Edwards. And just ahead, the story of a brother's love and an unfinished mission.
New evidence in the JonBenet Ramsey case.
I don't know how you got that.
And John Ramsey in his first interview since Patsy died, Saturday.
Millions of seniors have turned to Walgreens with their Medicare questions and their prescriptions.
We brought in our prescriptions, and Walgreens gave us a free personalized report that helped make choosing a plan easy.
They also gave us $50 in coupons with our report.
Now that sign-up has begun, we're ready, thanks to Walgreens.
Whether you'd like to switch plans or you're turning 65, come in now for your free report. Already signed up? We accept all major plans. If you need help finding a plan or you're already a member, visit Walgreens today.
Hey, Mark! You got a cough that won't quit? This Robitussin will get it under control.
Donna, you've got the flu. This Robitussin will help you feel better.
No matter what you've got, there's Robitussin Relief with your name on it.
Science suggests vitamin D is a key to calcium absorption, which helps keep bones strong. New improved Caltrate has more vitamin D. Keep your bones strong to keep your body strong. New Caltrate, the key to strong bones.
I've studied the human heart for a lifetime, and there's something you should know.
Inventor of the Jarvik artificial heart, Dr. Robert Jarvik.
High cholesterol can lead to heart disease. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor lowers bad cholesterol 39 to 60%. And Lipitor is clinically proven to reduce your risk of heart attack and your risk of stroke if you have several common risk factors for heart disease. The more we learn about Lipitor, the more impressed I am. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you're taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. Could you be doing more with Lipitor? Ask your doctor.
Visit Lipitor.com for a free trial.
When you're on the go, a dead battery's a big deal. You need Pocket Power, the portable, rechargeable outlet in your pocket. It's the power to travel. Exclusively at Sam's Club.
Rodents are a threat, and in my 16 years as an exterminator, I've seen many homes like this one. So in my home, I'd use Decon baits. It guarantees rodent elimination. That's why I trust Decon.
Decon, America's #1 brand.
She took a new pill for the memory. The results could change her life.
Makes it easier to remember and function.
It's a story you won't forget. Sunday on 60 Minutes.
As we have been reporting, this has been a deadly week in Iraq with hundreds of civilians killed and the U.S. military reporting 6 new deaths as well. Every member of the service understands the danger involved in serving there, but one soldier's mission in Iraq is a personal one. He's finishing his brother's work. Steve Hartman reports in tonight's Assignment America.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Staff Sergeant Reyes Sanchez has a way with words.
What are you shooting at?
Which is to say, most soldiers
What the heck?
want to get away from them.
Why are you running out of breath? Don't get too stiff. Drink water.
Sanchez spent the summer here at Fort Hood, Texas, preparing his troops for Iraq.
Get your together, man. You're going to be out there helping us out.
Over-preparing, some might say.
Let's back up. Hey, Denny.
And yet they all know why he drills them as hard as he does.
I said, hey, you do not know how hard it feels to lose somebody. Learn what I'm teaching you.
The somebody Sanchez lost to a roadside bomb, was his best friend and little brother, Ledesma.
When he passed away, everybody who knew him were calling me like, Jesus, man, you were inseparable, now you got separated.
Growing up, the boys did everything together. And once grown up, they did everything together still. The two men worked in the same auto shop. And when the younger brother eventually decided to join the military, the older brother says he basically had no choice.
I say, well, he's going in. I can't let him go by himself.
Sanchez says he basically joined to protect his little brother.
Everybody sit. Right, sir. Ready.
But they ended up in different platoons. And now, Ledesma's gone anyway. So why is Sanchez still here?
We'll never quit each other. We're finishing what we started.
And finishing it together as possible.
I wear everything he owns. Boots to the cap. I'm wearing his boots right now.
Those are the boots that your brother wore?
Yeah.
Lock and load! Sanchez also got permission to take over his brother's old job in his brother's old unit.
There you go. He looked at me and he said, my brother served with these men. I want to carry on my brother's legacy.
Captain Lexi Gibbs is the commanding officer.
You can't lose both. He's my Private Ryan, and I do keep an extra eye out on him.
Tonight, the unit is in Iraq, just shipped out a few weeks ago. And although I'm sure they're all missing their families this holiday weekend, I know one soldier who's never completely alone.
It's like when I wear his uniform, he's there. He's my right-hand man.
Steve Hartman, CBS News, Fort Hood, Texas.
And next week on Assignment America, you chose it, and Steve Hartman is on it. An Arkansas couple is traveling the world by mule. Steve will bring you their story next Friday.
Tonight's Assignment America segment is sponsored by ExxonMobil, taking on the world's toughest energy challenges.
2,000 years ago, they probably never imagined people would be going past this at 50 kilometers per hour. Just like we probably can't predict what we'll be driving in the future. That's why we're developing thermoplastic car body parts that are lightweight and highly impact resistant. Not to mention recyclable, so we can keep things moving forward. I'm Marina Anglani, and I work for ExxonMobil.
And finally, this Friday evening, we'd like to make mention of one man's generosity. Frank Garcia owns a restaurant in Anaheim, California, and every year, he and his army of volunteers cook up Thanksgiving dinner for anyone who needs a hot meal. Well, yesterday, he served some 20,000 turkey dinners. For that, he deserves our thanks. And that's the CBS Evening News. For Katie Couric, I'm Russ Mitchell in New York. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on the Saturday Early Show. Good night.
CBS News. See it now, anytime, anywhere.